Hello, everyone. This is Kavita Milwani with Aligned and Soulful. And today I am here to talk about 3 ways to access your subconscious mind so you can have extraordinary success. And I have been passionate about empowering other healers and coaches and all you wonderful business owners to reach their level of success because I truly believe, especially at this part in this time, it is so important for people like you to have the success because the way that you will spread that wealth, spread your knowledge through the world will elevate the whole entire planet and beyond. So, which is why I am passionate about talking through this topic. So, my business is called Aligned and Soulful Success, and I specialize in supporting empaths and sensitive entrepreneurs who feel stuck in their businesses and want to generate more income to serve their soul contracts. They're just not sure how, right? They may have tried many different things. And so, one of the things that I do work with my clients to help them move past is through the subconscious blocks because a lot of times it's through our conditioning and through these blocks, these are the things that are stopping us. So that I want to share this with you today. And my goal is that you leave after listening to this with something you can actually take and implement, right? It's one thing to talk about this topic or to discuss something, but it's really important to me that you actually have something of value that you take with you, okay? And, I've been working as a coach for almost 9 years now. And so, and I have training in regression and hypnotherapy and energy. I'm like a Reiki master as well. So I integrate all of this into the subconscious work and the shadow work. And recently have got a lot of training um, through a program that focuses on Carl Jung. Okay, and that he, as you know, is someone that really spoke about archetypes and the subconscious mind. Okay, and so you will walk away with 3 things today. Okay, first is why access your subconscious mind. Why is it important? And I started kind of touching on that a little bit. Number 2, how do you know if your subconscious mind is limiting your success? And the third thing, which is actually more than one thing, is 3 ways that you can start to access your subconscious mind with strategies that you can use now to shift those blocks. Okay. And so let me continue the story of my business by giving you a little bit of my background, okay, and why I do this work. So, as an empath myself and a highly sensitive person, I also am the mother to 2 teenage boys, and through the years have suffered many health consequences, depression. I have been working through autoimmune disorders and other health issues. Okay, and part of what has contributed to that is me not understanding myself. I didn't know who I was, and so I wanted to belong to what I thought was the way to happiness and the way to success, which was through overworking, people pleasing, and taking care of everyone else, right? And I know some of you can resonate with that. And if you're listening to this now or you're listening to this later on, I'd love to hear from you. Write in the comments, does that resonate? Have you spent way too much time doing and living your life the way that you were taught or conditioned to believe that you need to live? Now, that may not be the case anymore because you're on this path, right? But if it was a time that you felt this way, I'd love to hear. So just put that in the comments and let me know that I'm not alone here, right? So I will say in about 2011 was where I started to have that first kind of awakening. I started to feel kind of like So everything was surreal. To the outside world, I had everything. I had a family, I had a husband, I had the two kids, and there was still this sense of something's missing. I knew I was not really doing what I was meant to do in this world. And my soul was not going to let me keep going without paying attention. Okay. And so, if you don't listen to the whispers, they can get louder. So I've been gone through years of changing careers, caring for my kids, pleasing my family, my husband's family, because culturally that's important. Cared for my younger son, had various health issues, and I was done. So I met my first coach at that time. At that time, I had a business, and I'll talk about that later. And I went to a networking event and met my first coach, and that really started that awakening journey. Okay. Because the business I started was based on my family and my background. I grew up in a household of business owners, and my parents had a jewelry store. And so I started a home based jewelry business that just made sense, right? I had moved to a new city, just had to sell my brick and mortar coaching business, which was my first business on my own, which I started in 2003. And I had my first child. I was pregnant. So I said, well, let me do something that I can do from home and something that I know. So logically, I went into starting a jewelry business. It was home based. But you know what? You take yourself into each business. So oftentimes I meet clients and they're switching from business to business. And really, it's not about that. It's about how you approach your business, how you approach your life, right? And so, although I went from this business and home based, and I didn't have a brick and mortar business where I had set hours and all of that, when I sold my tutoring business, I still continue the same patterns of behavior of overworking, comparison, and not enoughness. I did all the right things that I was taught by the powers that be, by the coaches, by my parents, by all these successful business owners and what they said I should do, but I wasn't getting the results that I desired. I achieved income. I had success, but it did not match my efforts. Okay. And so I continued to do this as I started an event planning business, and then eventually moved into the coaching business. So my conditioning, my brains was, until it was open to new levels of success and what that would entail and what that meant as far as exposure, I was not going to go past those blocks. Okay. Because I teach about subconscious mind, because it is said that 90% of our behavior is controlled by our subconscious mind. So I had spent so much time learning about the outward actions, which are important, right? Manifestation, alignment, all of that's important, right? And in addition to that, it's really important, if the results you're seeing are not matching your efforts, to look at the subconscious mind. Okay. And so, like I said before, the world needs conscious healers now more than ever. We need to be the ones to hold the wealth in the world. How we spend, who we support matters in the world. Okay. And so, as an empath, there's a lot of energy that I'm working with. And if you are an empath or an HSP, you also are most likely experiencing higher levels of stress and overwhelm, and your nervous system may be taxed more than usual. Okay. And so you might be kind of feeling some exhaustion, not sure, maybe some confusion, overwhelm. Things might not be working the way that you like. And so this is time to start to look at this. Okay. So I started through my story already explaining to you why you should access your subconscious mind. Okay. And so you live out of alignment if you don't. Okay. And when you are living a life out of alignment, that's led by, most of your actions are led by your subconscious mind, and you're going by the advice of others, and you're remembering a past that didn't even happen the way that you remembered it because it had to go through our brain to process it, then you're programmed with these beliefs of how the world works and what's possible for you and what happens with certain actions by the time you're around the age of 7. And then your brain continues to look for evidence that that is true because we have something called confirmation bias, right? So we have our conditioning, we believe these things are true, and then our brain is going to confirm what we already believe, right? And so then what we create is in alignment with what we had learned about, but out of alignment, but of maybe who you want to become and the success you want to create in the world. Okay, so this is why it's so important to work with your subconscious mind through the blocks and to do the shadow work. Okay, and so now I'm hoping that you're seeing why it's important to access your subconscious mind. Okay, and your subconscious mind can be something that shows you and guides you in directions that you don't want to go, right? And you're creating things that are not what you truly want to create. Okay. So now that you have an idea of why you access your subconscious mind, what about how do you know if your subconscious mind is limiting your success? So how do you know that, right? So hopefully you saw some bits of that, the answer to that question in what I shared earlier, but I'm going to highlight them even more, okay? Because the main way that you're going to know if your subconscious mind is contributing to your level of success is by the results that you're getting, right? As I shared earlier, I was putting in the efforts and my results did not match the efforts that I was putting in. Okay, so when you're coming from that, working more is not the answer. Okay, it is not going to give you necessarily much better results. Okay, so do your results match your effort? So that's one way to know if your subconscious mind is limiting your success. Another way to know is ask yourself the following questions. Question, do the same patterns of behavior that you are engaging in with relationships, and relationships are all kinds of relationships. This is relationships with clients, with people, referral partners, with people that you surround yourself with friends, with family. Do these patterns of behaviors continue to repeat themselves with just different people, right? And so some of those patterns might be you listen to someone that tells you to do something for your business and it really doesn't feel aligned. Your intuition is saying, I don't know about that, but you do it anyway, okay? That could be, is that something that you do? You don't listen to yourself, you question, you look outward for the answers. Is that a pattern that keeps repeating for you? Okay, so that's one way. The people pleasing and serving others, or that other people know more than you. Okay, so that could be another pattern. But I'm going to give you a story that hopefully will help you really connect with this, because stories also help us access more of our brain, okay? And it helps us remember. So I had a client, yes, I did have a tutoring business too, but I also help clients start many different types of businesses, launch them, and actually grow them, right? So I have a client who wanted to start her own tutoring business, and she worked for years as a tutor for others, but she was now ready to create her own business. And she just kind of got stuck in the details of it, right? And so the weeds of her business and all the patterns she was able to navigate without working through them were showing up for her, right? So all the things that she could avoid doing, like having difficult conversations with parents or difficult conversations with kids, she didn't have to do much of that as she was working for someone else, because if there was an issue, they had policies and they had ways that someone else would take care of it, most likely the owner of the tutoring business most of the time. Okay, so but now she took that responsibility because she was the business owner, Okay. And so all those repetitive patterns that I described, the people pleasing, the not standing up for yourself, which I didn't mention, but that's another pattern for her, started showing up in her business. Okay. And so you could see that as, well, maybe she's just, it's just the type of business, or it's the clients that she has. But no, remember I said you look at the results and you can know if it's because of your subconscious mind, if it's impacting your success, right? So in her case, it was showing up in all her interactions, right? So we worked with those belief patterns, that conditioning. Where do those beliefs come from? Where did the fear of standing up for yourself, especially with males in her case, where did that come from? So we worked together to first launch her business, to create systems. And then as she was working through and with clients and with students, I would work with her to work through the blocks that came up, because the blocks can come up through, and they will come up as a business owner, right? And working through them while you're actually experiencing them is so valuable, because they're real, tangible, right? Instead of stepping away and say, let's pretend this is happening, right? So that created the ability for her to have a profitable business, which she wasn't sure she could create on her own. Okay. And she didn't really believe she could do it. So now she believes it, and she's thinking of, we're working together to streamline that, to figure out how she can maybe leverage some of her time, use her skills. So, now we're able to go to that next level and then work through those blocks that rise up when we're doing that. And so that you can see that working with her subconscious mind through this process was helped her move through the belief that she cannot do something, the belief that, yes, there was a part of her that believed it, but it was deep down inside wondering if it was really possible for her. And so working with the subconscious mind, and also while she was taking action, is what moved her forward rapidly. Okay, within months, she was able to start her business, have clients, generate income, and create systems for herself. So I'm so proud of her and all the work she did. But I highlight the story for you so you can know what the value is of the subconscious along with conscious action. Because a lot of times clients come to me after they have been taking course after course on to learn things like, how do I market using social media, or how do I market through presentations? Hey, all of those strategies are wonderful. They're all great. If you're only doing that and not working on the inner, not working on this, then your results are not going to be as big as they could be, right? Okay. So I promised you that I would teach you 3 ways to actually access your subconscious mind and work with them. So I want to make sure that I provide that for you today. Okay. So some of the wisdom behind the tools, it's important to know, right? We have our physical, mental, and spiritual bodies, right? And these are all governed by our energetic bodies. In my training to be a Reiki master, I truly learned how powerful our energy bodies are, and how much I had been denying my own. Especially being an empath, being told that I was too sensitive, that I'm feeling too much of something or not enough of something, right? And so I began to doubt myself and my intuition and my own inner guidance, okay? And so our bodies tell us a lot, okay? And so the first way to access your subconscious is through the triggers and resistance you can feel a lot of times in your body, because our brain can play tricks on us, but the triggers, okay? So what are some recurring thoughts? What emotions arise that you can't seem to let go of? So, I talked earlier about relationships. Are there some relationship dynamics that keep repeating with different people? Okay. So one of the examples that's really common is, are you a person that when you go to a party or a get together, don't feel connected to the people around you, or you don't feel seen. That's a big thing that I've heard a lot, right, from clients. They don't feel seen or heard. They kind of feel invisible a little bit, or if they're seen, they're not fully feeling seen. Okay. So if this is what you're seeing out there, and then you leave the party and you feel the sense of, wow, these people, they don't see me, they don't understand me, the world doesn't understand me, why don't people understand me? Only certain people will, like that kind of see. So you could see there's the trigger, and how does that feel in your body, right? And so oftentimes that can feel constricting. Okay, there can be kind of just a sense of anxiousness, lots of ways that it can show up for different people. So this is a way that you know that your subconscious mind is in play here. You are feeling emotionally like kind of like a little trigger. You're feeling some resistance, and then you may tell yourself, I'm not going to parties anymore. Okay. And so this same pattern may show up when you post on social media, or it could show up when you're writing an email, or if you go to a connection event, right? There's lots of ways that it can show up. It can show up if you work with clients where they're not really showing up on time for sessions, right? Or meetings or whatever, right? So there's a lot of ways to look at and see when you feel that deep emotion. It's something that you just can't seem to let go, and you're noticing in different places. So that's one way to access your subconscious mind. And so the first step with working with the subconscious mind is to recognize it. You need to recognize it. You need to bring it out of the shadows, out of the dark, right? And from what you pushed away, and bringing that forward. So doing that, bringing that awareness, is the first step to working through it. So where are you feeling that emotional trigger? Okay. Second way to access your subconscious mind is through your dreams. Okay. Our dreams speak to us through our subconscious mind. Writing out your dreams, working with a dream group, a dream partner, or a coach that works with dreams and the subconscious can help you process what's showing in your subconscious mind. Okay, your brain will talk to you, subconscious mind will talk to you through dreams, and oftentimes those are through archetypes, through symbols, and even though they seemingly won't make sense, right? As you're writing them down, you'll start to notice, and it can help you process. So to give you one story of a client that actually did this. So I have a client who started writing her dreams down as she was going through relationship challenges and a career change, right? So both of those at the same time. And so she would bring her dreams to the sessions. And as we talked to them, it helped her uncover her really deep fears that she had about moving forward in the relationship. And she was able to see that relationship for what it was, and less through that lens, right? That lens of fear. Okay. And then oftentimes her higher self, was communicating to her through her subconscious mind. And so as she worked through that, she was understanding, and she was able to bring that and move through the insights to really understand what she wanted. What did she want in her career? Was this a good relationship for her, right? And so she was able to make those decisions, not just by looking at the dreams, but looking at the dreams with someone to help her process that, right? And so that was really big for her. And she was able to make those decisions and move forward into her career, know what her next steps are, and next steps with the relationship. Okay. And it would have taken her much longer to do that, or maybe she would still be in indecision and confusion if she hadn't used her dreams to help her. Okay. The third way to access your subconscious mind is through visualizations or active imagination. Now, this is a Carl Jung process, right? All of these actually are. And so it's a way to engage with your higher self. So there's visualizations that can help you access that. You can use a way to speak to your higher self. And so when you do that, you're able to access that. What does your subconscious mind want to tell you, right? Why is it stopping you? And what is your intuitive guidance here? Because you know all the answers. The answers to what you need to do are in you, right? So as coaches and healers, we guide other people to their answers, okay? So when the emotions arise, you can use the visualization to figure out what that's about. What is it there for? What are you meant to learn from it, right? And so that is the third way that you can access your subconscious mind, okay? And so, bonus, as you could probably tell, working with someone that knows how to do this is so important. So if you need the support, reaching out and finding someone. And so I have something to offer you today. It is a free assessment where you can uncover your business success archetype. Okay. And so uncovering your success archetype is going to help you with showing what's your forward facing, right? And then the opposite of that is your persona. Is your shadow, right? So your persona and your shadow. So if you want to take that quiz, I have a link available. And, if you want to discuss it with me, great. If not, great. I hope that will help you move forward in working with your subconscious mind. Okay, so today I talked about why you need to access your subconscious mind, what happens when you don't access your subconscious mind to reach your levels of success, how do you know if your subconscious mind is impacting your success, and I also gave you 3 ways that you can access your subconscious mind and work with it, okay? And finally, I shared the success archetype quiz. So I'm hoping that you got something of value from this today. And if you want to share in the comments one thing that you are taking away from this, I'd love to hear it. And this is Kavita with Aligned and Soulful Success. I'm here hoping and holding high energy for your success. And I want to thank Jessica for having this wonderful platform and putting this together. You are definitely a bright light that is much needed in this world. And thanks to all of you, and hope that you can all shine your bright lights into this world and create the shifts and create the world that we can have with connection and alignment and beautiful spiritual world. I just have that vision and want this so much for all of us. All right, until we connect again, take care.